you are gonna fail when you open up your business. It's inevitable. When we first started, we had high quality content that we thought was gonna perform so well and make our business booming, but it was so far from that. But if we didn't keep trying, we wouldn't be where we are at today. So before we get into this topic, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, where we go over so many of these great topics and dive deep into these things. So let's go into it. How did we start, and what was kind of the process? I kind of want to hear from your perspective.
It was definitely a lot of failure. You are right there. I think I like the topic of starting with the high quality videos, because we've been doing these videos in this space for how many years?
Now.
Tell me. Yeah.
Wait,
Because
no.
last time I messed up
6
the years,
years is like,
and you lectured me.
6 years
probably
is
because Jace is
Jace.
about to be 8. So it's probably closer to 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Yeah. Probably closer to 4. But we've been doing it for a long time. We haven't been doing it for ourselves. We've been doing it for other med spas and other businesses that you worked for, and then at home. And then I'd say high quality, but like our initial videos, like looking back, they weren't high quality.
Oh my
they were
gosh.
shot with a good camera, but they were
it'd be
bad
so interesting
videos.
if you showed a video right now.
Double cleansing is twice as nice. Your first cleanse is going to be the one that removes any oil, debris, dirt, or pollution that accumulates.
Please make me do this. Now I have to go back and pull an old video.
So here's an old video of me.
I will show an old video just for you.
Okay.
But yeah, so we thought they were high quality, but we've been working on this for a long time and we were failing at that. But if we go back to the beginning of the business and we first opened and we were stressed and we were scared and didn't know what we were doing, we were both pretty confident that our high quality videos, because they still were better than most in the space, especially for most estheticians starting on their own, because there was 2 of us, I had a camera.
And things were so different back then too.
Yeah. And I thought that we were just going to, as soon as we posted high quality videos, the clients were going to come flooding in. We were going to sell out the books, the full 9. We had a full business plan based on our Instagram videos crushing it.
Yeah. And
we realized very quickly that our Instagram videos were not crushing it. They did well, and we were able to build clients and we were able to build a social following, but it was not optimized. It wasn't as good as it could be. So I want you to talk more about that, because in my opinion, you know, we've both done this together, but I feel like you were one of the kind of like the lead charges of learning and lecturing me about what didn't work, because I've always been really stuck on like cinema and trying to make my stuff cinematic and slowing things down and not conforming to the Instagram world. And you've done a really good job of taking my content that I think is really high quality and really good, but mixing it in with what works on social media. So talk to me about the process of us failing really flat in our face and what you learned to optimize that content and make it better.
Yeah. So as far as social media goes, I think that we have a really good balance of bouncing off of each other. So you may have a great idea, but it may not, be personable. It may be very salesy, which can be good in certain aspects.
Yep.
But I think that there is a mix of obviously being professional, having, making sure that your videos are, so if a client does go to your page, that they know your offer or whatever that you are portraying your services by. But also, I know it's silly, but trends and following trying to keep up with the algorithm on Instagram, it's always changing. So for me, it was just learning how to constantly tweak things. I even got to a point where I just took after videos of client skin and added text to it, and it wasn't even high quality. So, I mean, that right there says that we had so much high quality and it just wasn't utilized correctly, because the clips were too long. It just wasn't catchy enough. It wasn't, it was just like a boring video. It could have been cool, but to an average person, we think it's really cool because it's cinematic, but somebody who's like, oh my gosh, it's constantly grabbing their attention because there's text. It's
that is interesting
fast.
for us too, to kind of, it's not off topic, but it kind of is, but looking at really early on in our days, the best performing videos were iPhone videos, and our best performing content at the time was before and after with your phone. And I think we put so much pressure, and I think a lot of people now still too, and I don't know what everyone actually thinks about us or thinks about you on social media and their their representation of you of like, oh, she has high quality videos. That's why she made it work. But for such a long time on our back end, our biggest growth was iPhone videos of of glows. And then it was not just glows because you had text and good audio, but then before and afters as well. I mean, there was a time, wait, sorry, let me finish this. I know you it's hard for you to like, keep going, but there's two things. There was 2 months in a row that our highest performing content on our page is a before and after, and they both reached over like 300,000 people.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now you can go.
No,
I
you're
just
fine.
want to finish that.
I was just going to say that I feel like that's when I truly got to understand Instagram as far as just making something shareable and making things resonate with other people, because I mean, people just assume that because you have high quality, it works. And so people look at my page and they're like, oh, well, of course her stuff performs well. It's high quality. But it's like, you have to know how to utilize it. And that's why we say practice makes perfect, because in the beginning we did have all high quality videos, but there was a point in the business where I was just trying something new. And it, like I said, it just took trial and error of trying and trying and trying again. And there's no way that you are going to fail if you keep trying. So we did high quality. It didn't work in the beginning because we didn't know how to utilize it. And then there was a point in our business where I just took afterglows and that was my thing, and I tweaked it. I added text to it. So it was such a simple video, but for some reason, I mean, clearly the algorithm and Instagram and the people who were viewing it loved it. And so I didn't even see anything like that in the space when I was doing those type of videos.
What's crazy about your afterglow videos is the first ones you posted didn't take off.
Yeah.
So you failed at those first versions of it.
Because it was so boring.
Because it was just a long afterglow video. Maybe it was 12 seconds, 13 seconds long. And instead of you giving up, you went, this is a good video. Let me see if I can make it better. And in our course that we're actually working on right now, that'll be available soon, we go over this of repurposing content and optimizing content. So stay tuned for that. But this is a little preview here. But that's really important. In our high quality videos, that affects the before and afters, that affects all things. Was like, you have to throw it out one time. It has to flop. It has to hurt your ego. And then you have to be able to stand back up and go, I think there's something that's good there. Let me try it again and make it better. Yeah.
And too, if you think about it, I mean, that was really when our page, in my opinion, really started to take a turn. And then at that point, I was able to utilize that same style, but with high quality videos. And I think that's when our page really took off, because we understood how to utilize Instagram. So I think if you keep trying and trying and trying, but you're doing the same exact thing in the same exact video, it takes pride and putting that aside and looking at your analytics. I talk about this all the time, of seeing what videos perform well on your page and literally tweaking that same exact video. It has to eventually work. There's no way that it shouldn't. And if you have clips, just keep trying and trying. I mean,
and trust yourself, trust your gut sometimes too. Trust the gut that you go, I know this is good. I know there's something here. Oh, what? Well, when I said this, did it hurt your ears?
Yes.
That's funny. But yeah, there's something good there. You just can't give it up.
Yeah.
So transitioning from that point, really, not really quickly, but moving on to a different aspect of the business of trying and failing. So what things, as far as the business, I mean, I can think of specials right now of trying and failing, but is there anywhere else, if it's not specials, if it's somewhere else, I could talk about the specials, or you can, that we tried and failed with the overall business?
I mean, ads, offers, making reels that didn't feel personable. I think that something that I've learned too is, of course, like I said in the past, I think there's a good mix of you being professional and having an offer, but that's my take. I feel like you should have a mix of everything on your page. So when somebody does go to your page, it's not strictly just like unpersonable, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Just constantly offers and specials and deals and trying just to sell like, something.
If you buy this, you get this.
Yeah,
and
because nobody would want to follow that.
I think that's what also, as far as our Instagram goes, I have a huge mix of informal graphics now. I have a mix of before and afters and captions that educate sometimes. So I think it's just really important to have a mix of everything on your Instagram so somebody can kind of get to know you if that's what you want. I think that there is a balance, in my opinion, of professionalism and showing personality. That's just my take. I think you should still be professional.
Yeah. And I think as far as failing
social media has
goes,
gone really far in my opinion, but I don't think there's anything wrong with social media if you're not like, if your goal isn't trying to utilize to book strictly clients, I don't know. I have like a mixed feeling about it. Whole. Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as special goes, since that was they mentioned it and you didn't, I want to talk a little bit about that as one of the failures that we've been through. And we've talked about specials before. We've done a whole thing about specials. So if you haven't watched that, go back to one of our previous videos where we're anti-specials. And I think there is a correct way to do specials and promos, and it's I'm not all it doesn't work and you shouldn't do it. But that's one of the failures that we made early on, is that the first special we ever ran to start the business, we were so desperate. We did a buy one facial, get one free because we've talked about this before. We knew nobody in Arizona when we built this business here. So there was no referral. There's no, oh, my sister-in-law, oh, my cousin, oh, my granddaughter. When you talk about
starting from scratch and zero, we literally didn't know one soul.
Yeah. So when we opened up the business, we didn't even have a friend to come in to give a free facial to. We knew literally nobody because we were in our first 6 months here in Arizona. So that was our first special, which I don't regret that. It did work. It got the job done where we were able to get a handful of people in to be able to pay the first month's rent. So I don't hate that. But one of the failures I think we made with specials is that what we did is we leaned on specials really hard in bad times. So in desperation, we went, let's run a special. Every time business got slow, we both looked at each other and went, if we run a special right now, we'll be okay. Like, we can keep the lights on. And after month 4 of the business, it stopped working. Yeah. The specials started to run dry. Or we had clients that were waiting and expecting specials, and we had a handful of people that came in knowing that Victoria's going to run a special again. So to me, that was a failure. I think the idea was there, but I do think that the business could have stayed open if we would have held true and doubled down on marketing efforts that were actually working and could work instead of lecturing the cat. Sorry. Instead of doubling down on a special.
Yeah.
Right?
No, totally. I think that I really think it's so important to focus on the quality of the clients that you do have rather than quantity. And I've just learned it from personal experiences that I could have an abundance of clients, but that they only come in 1 month. And that forces me to run another special the next month. So, and I'm not putting in the time and effort and the energy that I could be giving somebody a little extra TLC so that they do rebook their appointment. Yeah. So that is building your clientele right there. And that's adding value to your service by adding in, let's say, extra time to that one client. Not that you should do that every time, but adding an extra face mask, things like that. So focusing on the clients that you do have for the long run. And it's all about patience when it comes to opening up your business. And I know from personal experience that it is so much easier said than done. Unfortunately and fortunately, we did not have any personal help. We don't have the luxury of, owning. We didn't have a big business loan. We didn't have, we couldn't live with our family while we're building the business or things like that. I don't think we would anyways, but we just have the luxury that, some people do, which is okay. Every journey is totally, everybody has their own path. But if you are starting from zero, I believe in you. I believe that you can totally do it.
Be patient. Yeah, we definitely believe in you. And just be patient with your journry. Don't try to rush your journey. And we did this in the beginning. It's the only reason why we can say it is we tried to rush to the $1 million, right? We were rushing. We had these dreams that in 6 months we were going to make $600,000 and the business was going to explode and we're going to travel to France and everything's going to be amazing.
And you never know what your outcome's going to get. I think that every situation is unique. I think that for us, if you don't know, I'm the breadwinner and Chris does marketing. He has a couple businesses that he does work for, but primarily I make majority of the money to support our family. So we're not in a typical situation where if somebody were to reach, 6 figures within 6 months, that could be all their money. We take care of our family and we have 2 children. So our journey is definitely very unique. So I just wanted to remind you that every story is different. You may even reach, success quicker than we did. We're just now, again, 2 years into our business, and we can finally, sit back and, it's still a little scary sometimes. It's never going to be 100%.
Because you own a business. Yeah. Because the stock, the market, everything.
You never know what you're going to get each month. So, I just want to remind you that everybody's journey is different. So we hope that we can inspire others and other business owners. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them below. We're always an open book. We always respond to every comment. Majority of messages on Instagram, even we try our best to respond. But yeah, our course will be coming out soon, where it'll be such an amazing source of community and personalized care for you guys. So I think that's where we're going to wrap it up right now, unless you have any other things to say. But thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.